meatball soup. This is something that my mom has shown me to make, and this is like a favorite in my home. So I don't like to do this if it's a hot day, but it's kind of cool down here in Southern California, so it's a perfect time to do this. But I wanted to show you how I make meatball soup. And what you'll need is some kind of chicken base. This is the Knorr broth. Some onions, some tomatoes, rice, ground beef, water, mint, and egg white. I don't use the yolk. As far as the meat, I use about 3 pounds. This is a little less than 3 pounds, but I use about 3 pounds. Also, with the meat, preferably 85% to 15% fat. That's a good ratio, because this can, if you overcook the ground beef, overboil it, it can get very gummy feeling. So you want, and then you also want that flavor. You also want that flavor, and that's the fat is what releases the flavor. So truthfully, I would not recommend any leaner meat than that. So 85-15 ratio on the meat. And then your stock pot lid, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my mint, and then I'm going to cut my onions and my tomatoes right now, and then I'll come back and show you what I do. Okay, so I've cut I've cut 3 tomatoes into these wedges. Into these wedges like that. So there's 3 here. Now usually it's good with just 2. But I have to say, my husband, the more the mint and the more the tomato, the better he likes it. So usually I do 3 tomatoes. I do use the whole bushel of the mint. You don't have to, half of the bushel would be enough. You get them at the store and it comes in a bushel. Half would be enough, but not for my hubby. He needs the whole thing. And what I do is I mince it really, really fine, and then I save several of the leaves and I'll put that into the broth, okay? And then I have a little bit of onions that are also chopped up that will be going into the meat, and then these wedges of onions that will also go into the broth. Okay, so I'm warming up the pot, and what I will do is I will go ahead and put a little bit of olive oil in there, and I'm going to saute the onions first with some salt. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes. Once the tomatoes get somewhat wilted, and these will need to get transparent in color, then I'm going to go ahead and add the water. In here I have about 8 cups of water. I probably will not use a full 8. If you put too much water into the broth, then you're not going to get the flavor from the meat. And I have the meat right here. The flavor from the meat. So you want to make sure that, I would say about 6 cups is going to be enough, but I will see as I make it. Okay, so this is heated up pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle on some oil to the pot. And this doesn't come out a lot, so I have to kind of give it some good shakes. And I'm going to reach for my salt. I forgot to bring up my salt. You don't want to overheat the oil, because the olive oil is not good to overheat. So you can use canola oil, whatever other oil you would like. I just like the olive oil. And then we're going to go ahead and add our onions first. Now this onion is about... they're very, very, very tiny. Usually I get a regular size onion, but I didn't have any of those, so I'm just using what I have. So this is about 1 little onion. Okay. And then once these start to get a little transparent in color, I will go ahead and add my tomatoes, and then I'll show you how it all looks in the pot. So go ahead and add a little bit of salt. You're going to add the salt as you go, because you want to add salt to your veggies as well, because, brings out the flavor in them. All of this you add to your liking, really. If you're not using so much meat, maybe you're just doing 2 pounds, Obviously, you can cut on all of this here. Our tomatoes. Don't you just love the smell of the onion? A little bit of salt. I just love that smell. See that there? Just let that get nice and wilted. Okay, so this is about where you want your tomatoes to look, where the peel is starting to want to come off of the meat of the tomato. So that is good enough. Let's go ahead and add the water to this. I said this is 8 cups, but I don't think that I will use the 8. Okay, that's good enough. So yeah, this is about 6 cups of water, and that is going to be good. That's good. No more than that, because like I said, it really will take the flavor out of the meat, or out of the broth. You know, you'll have like a watery broth. So that's that. Let's go ahead and put a lid on this. Alright, got the lid on. I'll go ahead and higher up the flame to get this thing boiling. Once it boils, we're going to go ahead and add our broth to it. And now this is Knorr, the Knorr brand. This is probably a little too high in sodium, so there's so many broths out there, chicken broths that you can get that are much lower in sodium. And you can tweak this however you need to tweak it to your dietary needs, of course. I should not be having such a salty broth, but we won't go there. Okay, let's go ahead and get our meat. This is our meat. We're going to start preparing that. Okay, so I moved you back a little bit so you can see, but I washed my hands because I'm going to get about a handful of this white rice and one more, just a half of the one I just got. So that's good because, like I said, this is 3 pounds, so this is quite a bit of meat. I already salted the meat, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the egg white. Again, you can use the yolk, that's up to you. I just need the white. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add our onion and our mint. Okay, so all of that is in there, except for these are going to go into the broth. These mint leaves are going to go into the broth once it starts to boil. And now we mix with your hands, really. You don't need anything else but your hands. Could be the best tools you have in the kitchen, I'm telling you. Again, the rice, you can just put a handful. You can even omit the rice altogether, or maybe you can even try a different rice. I don't know, but this is how my mom makes it, so I'll stick with that. If it were up to my husband, he would want me to put 2 bushels of mint, but oh yeah, this man, he loves it. All right, it is boiling. Okay, that's what we want. Now we're going to take the broth. Okay, this is optional, but it really lends a very nice flavor to your broth. It really, really does. I guess you can use beef broth if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and do this is a tablespoon. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to give it a taste. Let's see. No, needs more. Let's give it another tablespoon. Mix it. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add our mint leaves to that. Give it a good mixing. Alright, now what we're going to do, start throwing these into the broth. Okay, I get about a pinch. Roll it. And toss. And we're going to get... If you guys do this meatball soup, can you share with me what type of, how do you do it, what ingredients you use? My sister-in-law makes this as well. However, she adds to the broth. She adds potatoes and carrots and other things into the actual broth. We don't do that because my husband and I, we want to taste the meatball, you know what I mean? Like, we want to taste the meatball soup. And with the carrots and the potatoes, for us, I've done it before with the potato, but I don't know, we just like the meatballs in there. Last few here. There you go. Last one. Okay, put the lid on it. I probably put a little too much water, but we'll see. Okay, higher it up all the way. Wait till it boils, and then we're going to simmer it down and simmer for about 50 minutes. So I'll come back once this is boiling. Okay, it is boiling, so we're going to go ahead and reduce this down to a simmer. I'm going to put the timer on, 50 minutes. Let me show you how, I hope you guys can see that. Okay, and we'll be back. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see these, but I wanted to show you the Goodwill stuff that I bought, and I wanted to show you, there, maybe that's better. It's dark. But there's that little planter, and then my wine, my vinaigrette bottle. I don't know if you guys can see that though. Little topiary. I don't know if you can see that. Is another find that I got at the Goodwill too. And then this is the one I got at the swap meet. This is the little apple. There's my sink. But that's where I put them at. Yeah, and let me show you the other ones. Okay, there's the other topiary that I bought. And I just put it there for now, but I do plan on moving that. So, cleaned it all up and put it in my center of my table. And then over here is the pear. The other one that I bought at the swap meet. I put that right there. Let's see, that tree over there I got at the thrift store. They wanted 20, but that day everything in the store was 50% off. So I got it for $10, and then I just added the little lights and put it there in the corner. I love it. I'm looking for another one for my living room. Okay, it's been about 50 minutes, so let's check this. This smells so good. Let me get my spoon. This smells so, oops, sorry guys, so good. Let's look at that. The rice looks cooked. So I'm gonna put it on for just about 5 more minutes, I think. That'll be good. Okay, so dinner is served. There it is. The meatballs. Oh, they look delicious. There's a little bit of the mint leaf. I saved a lot of the tomato wedges for my husband because he likes all that tomato and everything in there. So I could have used more onions, I think. That would have been nice, more onions. But anyway, I'm going to go eat this, and I'll let you know how it is. Alright. And there you have it. The empty product. Did you like it, Aiden?
It was amazing.
It was amazing? What did you say when you walked into the house?
Oh, I floated on my legs. And I flew to the kitchen.
Why? What hit you?
Oh, the aroma of deliciousness.
That's my 11-year-old, okay? Anyways, I just wanted to show you. All gone. It was good. Good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to bring you guys more dishes like this. And if you guys try this out, please let me know what you guys think, or if you changed it or tweaked it, let me know what you guys do. Okay, guys. Bye.